Unleashing the power of anger. A hidden key to personal mastery. Think about the last time you felt truly angry. Was it a moment of injustice, a betrayal, or even frustration with yourself for not meeting your own expectations? How did you respond to that anger? Did you suppress it, let it explode, or channel it into something meaningful? Most of us are taught that anger is a negative emotion, something dangerous that must be controlled or avoided at all costs. But what if everything you thought you knew about anger was incomplete? What if anger wasn't merely destructive but held a hidden source of power? A potential catalyst for immense personal growth? Anger, when understood and harnessed, can be one of the most transformative forces in human experience. History, philosophy, and psychology all suggest that anger, in its essence, is not inherently bad. In fact, it has been the driving force behind some of the greatest changes in human civilization. From revolutions to scientific discoveries, anger has fueled resilience, innovation, and the courage to challenge the status quo. At Practical Philosophy, we believe that emotions, especially intense ones like anger, are not meant to be suppressed but understood. Our channel is dedicated to exploring deep psychological and philosophical insights that help you navigate emotions, break negative cycles, and unlock personal mastery. So, let us take a journey into the depths of anger, not as an enemy but as an untapped source of strength. How can we transform this raw, intense emotion into a tool for personal evolution rather than allowing it to consume us? The way we answer this question may very well determine the course of our lives. Subscribe to Practical Philosophy and join us in uncovering the wisdom hidden in our emotions. Understanding the true nature of anger. What is anger, really? Is it merely an impulsive reaction, a loss of control, or is there something more beneath its surface? The truth is, anger is not just an emotional outburst, it is a message. It signals that something in our world is out of alignment, that a boundary has been crossed, that something within us or around us needs to change. It is a deeply ingrained survival mechanism, an internal compass pointing toward areas that require attention. Throughout history, anger has been a catalyst for progress. Martin Luther King Jr. felt anger toward racial injustice, but instead of letting it consume him, he channeled it into a movement that changed the world. Mahatma Gandhi, though an advocate for peace, was deeply angered by oppression and transformed that anger into relentless determination. Even great thinkers, artists, and inventors have used frustration and anger as a force to push beyond their limits and create something revolutionary. But here is where most people misunderstand anger. They believe they only have two choices: either suppress it and pretend it does not exist or let it explode uncontrollably. Neither path is truly effective. Suppressed anger does not vanish, it turns into resentment, bitterness, and stress, silently eroding well-being. On the other hand, uncontrolled anger can damage relationships, harm reputations, and lead to impulsive decisions that we later regret. The real secret is not in rejecting anger but in mastering it. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who cannot control his wrath is weak. He who controls it completely is a fool. But he who masters and directs it is wise." This is the balance most people fail to achieve. The psychology of anger. How it shapes our lives. Science supports the idea that anger, when properly managed, can enhance performance, sharpen focus, and increase persistence. Studies have shown that controlled anger can improve problem-solving abilities and boost motivation. In an experiment, individuals who experienced mild anger performed better on cognitive tasks than those in a neutral emotional state. Why? Because anger, when channeled correctly, increases determination and reduces the fear of failure. Neuroscientific research suggests that anger activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for critical thinking and decision-making. When we learn to regulate our anger rather than react impulsively, we can use its energy to refine our reasoning and improve strategic thinking. Some of history's greatest minds and leaders have understood this and turned their frustrations into movements, inventions, and personal triumphs. To use anger as a tool, we must first shift our perspective. Instead of seeing it as an enemy, we must view it as a guide. Instead of suppressing it or allowing it to control us, we must learn to listen to its message. The next time you feel anger rising, ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? Is it pointing to an injustice that must be addressed? A necessary change? A valuable lesson? At Practical Philosophy, we explore these ideas and provide insights into how you can turn emotions like anger into catalysts for growth. Our channel helps you develop the awareness needed to transform emotional energy into productivity, resilience, and wisdom. Recognizing when and why anger arises allows us to harness it rather than be controlled by it. And this is only the beginning of unlocking its full potential. Mastering anger, the path to transformation. Once we understand that anger is neither inherently bad nor good, but a force to be directed, the next question becomes, how do we use it constructively? The answer lies in 3 key steps: recognition, reframing, and redirection. 1. Recognition. Most people either suppress their anger or react impulsively. Neither response is useful. Instead, when you feel anger, pause. Acknowledge its presence without judgment. Ask yourself, what triggered this emotion? Is there a deeper reason behind my anger? 2. Reframing. This is where true power begins. Reframing anger means shifting your perspective. Instead of seeing it as destructive, view it as an indicator of something needing change. Perhaps it is revealing a situation you should no longer tolerate, highlighting an injustice, or pushing you toward personal growth. 3. Redirection. This is where anger becomes transformative. Instead of lashing out or suppressing it, channel that energy into something productive. Use it to work harder, to push forward, to innovate. This is the difference between those who allow anger to destroy them and those who use it to achieve greatness. Turning anger into strength. The most successful individuals in history were not those who never felt anger, but those who learned how to use it strategically. Anger has fueled revolutions, shaped innovations, and given people the strength to overcome immense obstacles. Consider your own experiences. Have you ever felt deeply wronged, underestimated, or dismissed? Did you allow that anger to hold you back, or did you use it as motivation to prove yourself, to grow, to push forward? The difference between those who let anger consume them and those who use it constructively lies in how they channel its energy. Strategic individuals delay their responses to anger, allowing themselves time to process it before acting. They ask, how can I use this energy productively? Some of the greatest achievements in history were driven by those who turned anger into motivation. Athletes use it to push through physical limits. Entrepreneurs use it to prove doubters wrong. Artists and writers use it to create masterpieces. Thomas Edison, when his laboratory burned down, destroying years of work, did not allow frustration to break him. Instead, he famously said, "Thank goodness all our mistakes were burned up. Now we can start again fresh." This mindset is not natural, it is trained. It is the ability to take what could have been an overwhelming defeat and transform it into fuel for progress. The final stage, transcending anger. Mastering anger is not just about controlling it, it is about moving beyond it. True power comes when anger is no longer needed to drive action but becomes a stepping stone to deeper wisdom and clarity. Anger is a signal, but action based on understanding is what creates change. Consider the story of Nelson Mandela. Born in 1918 in the rural village of Mbizo, South Africa, Mandela grew up witnessing the deep injustices of apartheid. As a young lawyer and activist, he dedicated himself to the fight for racial equality, becoming a leading figure in the African National Congress. However, his activism led to his imprisonment in 1962, and he spent 27 years behind bars, much of it on Robben Island, subjected to hard labor and harsh conditions. He had every reason to be consumed by bitterness and resentment. Stripped of his freedom, isolated from the world, and facing constant injustice, he could have emerged with a heart full of vengeance. But instead, he chose a different path. He transformed his anger into a vision for unity and reconciliation. Through extensive reading, self-reflection, and dialogue with fellow prisoners, he deepened his understanding of leadership and human nature. Instead of allowing his pain to harden him, he used it as fuel for a cause greater than himself. Upon his release in 1990, rather than seeking retribution, he advocated for peace, negotiation, and national healing. He played a crucial role in ending apartheid and was elected South Africa's first black president in 1994. Through patience and wisdom, he cultivated a leadership style that emphasized forgiveness, empathy, and resilience, ultimately becoming one of the most revered figures in modern history. his ability to channel his anger into constructive change, rather than destructive vengeance, is not weakness, it is the highest form of strength. Now, think about a situation that has made you deeply angry. Instead of focusing on the emotion, ask, what is this anger trying to teach me? Does it mean you need to set stronger boundaries? Does it reveal an area where you have been settling for less? Does it show you a part of yourself that needs healing or growth? The greatest transformation happens when you stop seeing anger as something that happens to you and start seeing it as something you can work with. The ultimate mastery is not just in using anger, not just in controlling it, but in rising above it. And that journey begins with you. Conclusion. Transforming anger into wisdom. Anger is a natural and powerful emotion, but its true value lies in how we choose to harness it. It can be a destructive force or a source of profound transformation. The difference is in perspective and action. By recognizing anger, reframing it into a force for growth, and redirecting its energy toward constructive change, we empower ourselves to shape our lives rather than be controlled by fleeting emotions. At Practical Philosophy, our mission is to help you navigate life's complexities through deep insights into human emotions, psychology, and philosophy. If this discussion has resonated with you, consider subscribing to our channel to explore more perspectives on personal mastery, resilience, and self-growth. We appreciate your time and engagement. If you found this video valuable, please like, share, and leave a comment with your thoughts or personal experiences. Your support helps us continue providing meaningful content that sparks transformation. Subscribe to Practical Philosophy today, and together, let's turn every challenge, including anger, into an opportunity for growth and enlightenment. Thank you for watching.